Hello. Um, I made a video earlier about my friend Carlos Osueda getting banned from Twitter for posting facts. I got banned from Twitter, and it was a lot more involved than that. I had a false report made against me, and the FBI was sending it sent to my house, and it was very involved. And luckily, I'm much smarter than the person who sicked the FBI on me, and I made that boomerang, and it bit her really hard in her fat bottom, and she'll never do that again. But um, one of the reasons I'm not too keen about going back to social media is that I put 5 years of my life into trying to help Trump supporters understand Trump, and as always, everybody, as far as I can tell, is looking at this the wrong way. And okay, Trump is distracting y'all uh, with the whole lawfare thing, going through the courts. Well, nobody knows about the the CISA, which is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which Trump created in 2018. This agency was created specifically for the purpose of protecting critical infrastructure and in preparation for the creation of the CISA, the Department of Homeland Security, under which the CISA is controlled. That doesn't make sense. I don't care. Um, the DHS determined that voting, all the methods of voting, are a critical infrastructure. So Trump knew that all of this was going to happen. He warned us and warned us and warned us and warned us. So he's distracting everybody with the court, the legal action. Yeah, the legal action is real, but nobody understands that certain people, I can't I can't name them because then YouTube will ban this video. They messed with critical infrastructure, so that's a national security issue. Um, and they did it. Okay, they did it blatantly. Everybody saw what they did. It's all caught on camera. And they also did something really stupid. They relied on paper ballots. Well, honey babies, guess how the FBI can tell which printer you used? So it doesn't matter that the states contract out to private contractors to get their ballots printed. Ballots are now a national security issue, paper ballots. So there were people who messed with, I don't know, 200 ballots. They got 20 years in the federal penitentiary. Um, what's happening is that this was an attack, a nationwide attack on our critical infrastructure by what may have been, for all intents and purposes, the Russians, the Chinese, or the Iranians. It was an attempt to um, destroy the integrity of the American democratic process. So those of you who are worried don't understand. You don't apparently understand what's at stake, and B, you don't understand Trump. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not that anxious to go back to social media. I've been telling you guys for 5 years that you're all underestimating Trump, and now I'm looking at the usual I went and I looked at conservative websites that I haven't looked at since 2015, and Okay, the only guy who appears to know what's going on is a guy on Twitter named Ron Coleman, Coleman. And I think Ron Coleman knows what's going on. He said, they've jumped the shark, my friends. Trust me. Um, so I think Ron Coleman knows what's going on. But this is a national security issue, and Trump created a brand new DHS law enforcement agency to prevent election fraud. So the fact that it was done with paper, uh, uh, we're talking, I mean, I think, okay, even Georgia, everybody has paper ballots now. And in the case of since this fraud was perpetrated almost 100%, if not 100% with mail-in ballots, finding out which are real and which are fake is going to take about 2 days. Um, so here's what's going to happen. Either the CISA is going to basically raid 5 or 6 states and seize all the ballots and arrest people, and they're going to go to jail for 5,000 years. Or the Supreme Court is going to rule that all these states must have recounts, and this time the Republican observers, okay, the election, this election has proven that states can no longer be trusted with national elections without federal supervision. So this time the Republican observers are going to have armed federal escorts. And the armed federal escorts are going to make sure that these people get to watch and get to check every single ballot themselves. And it's going to be resolved one way or another. So this is a law enforcement issue for which Trump created a new federal agency. And Chris Krebs, who runs the CISA, said that he took the job to ensure the integrity of the election process for the sake of his children. So what do you think he's going to do? So I've put the link to the relevant page below. So you're all looking at it the wrong way. You're thinking that Trump is going to strictly go through the courts, and if two conservatives defect, and it turns out to be 4-5 on the part of corruption and Banana Republic, then you're thinking, oh, that's the end. No, this is a national security issue, and they're going to unravel this, and Trump will be declared the winner. That's the only outcome. Now, I did not predict this because it's political suicide. So what you need to start doing is you need to start viewing this as an act of absolute desperation. There was no way this was going to work. And since it was done so utterly clumsily, I mean, there's this idea, and okay, I know where they got this idea from. Establishment Republicans. They're all going, oh well, better luck next time, la la la. And Trump's base, we're not putting up with that. So we're going to see at every national level from now on, we're going to see federal supervision. That doesn't interfere with the rights of the states to conduct elections as they see fit. It just makes sure that they don't ever do this again. And they will not do this again. This is the mother of all tiger pits that Trump dug. And you need to start adding up how many how many of Trump's enemies are now dead in the water? Um, his obvious enemies in the opposers, the press. Fox News is dead. Um, all polling companies are dead. Uh, let's see. Big tech. After the election, Twitter and Google and Facebook get dismantled. They get broken up. Uh, uh, you know, Twitter loses its Section 230 protection, and it gets sued into oblivion. It gets sued until it becomes what it claims to have always been. It'll still be here, but it'll just, you know, Jack Dorsey he's gonna look like he's 250 years old. The guy is not a smart guy, and Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg has severe mental problems. Google, I remember that weirdo crying after Trump won. They all get broken up because this is a national security issue, and it can't be allowed to ever happen again, and it won't be. Um, Everybody's been red pilled now, and essentially my work is done. So I'm gonna have a talk with Saul on Saturday on our show called Big Beard Blather. Well, where I'll expand on that, but I need a break. Uh, After 5 years, the vast majority of everybody still don't know Trump, and it's like, I've got to have some me time. Um, so you guys go out there and tell people. Not that it'll do any good, but try. I've been breaking my ass for like 5 years, and I'm exhausted. I am exhausted. So I'm doing other stuff right now, but I made this video to tell you you're all looking in the wrong direction, as always. Trump created a new federal agency that is dedicated to fighting this kind of thing. So whoever did this is sunk. So there you go. Click.